Hello YouTube, this is Dazza the cameraman. Today is Wednesday, February 27th, 2019. And today online I have a very special guest of mine coming in live from Germany, my dear friend GeoStreber. Hello Geo.
Hello there, Dazza. I'm very pleased to be here with you.
So apparently MrThriveAndSurvive thinks that we are the same person. Can you believe it?
How can this be? We are talking to each other.
Okay, so let's just take a look at his video. Oh, this is cringy. Okay.
Sunlight. So I'm going to be doing that. I guess Dazza the cameraman said something that wasn't appropriate. I can't see it, but really, now let me ask you something. Globebusters, I guess you're Bob, and I really respect you a lot, Bob. Really do. I wish at some point when we get together at these flat Earth conventions or whatever, we should sit down and talk. I'd love to talk to you for a while. I really have a lot of great respect for you. Yes, good, Bob. Anyway, and you know what? You have these feelings about people. I do anyway. I get these instant feelings about people. And for the most part, it's pretty neutral. But Bob, even from the first time I shook your hand, I got a very positive vibe from you. And that means a lot to me. So, and to be honest, Bob, the reason why I will watch Globebusters is because of you. Not that the others are bad or anything like that, but I really like your brain and your attitude and how you present stuff. It's just, it's inspiring to me. So it's good to have you here. That was all. I was about to ask you a question, Bob. What was it? Oh, about Dazza the cameraman. Does he have a, that you know of, and I don't want to say the name of the place because I don't want to advertise it. Does he have a channel on YouTube that's called something different than Dazza the cameraman that you know of? Thank you, Bob. Mutual Admiration Society, huh? Now, you really do good work. Fantastic stuff. Really is. So does anybody know if he's got a different channel? Let me actually rephrase this and say something else while I open this up. My other thing I got here. Does anybody know of a channel that starts with Geo, G-E-O, and then S is the next word after it? You don't have to say it, what it is. Oh, really? He's been a troll for 4 years. He's been wanting me to watch videos of his, and I will. It's supposedly going to teach me a lesson. You know, the problem, and I'll watch it. He wants me to watch it yesterday, which everybody does. It's just I just don't have time to do all that. I wish I did. Now, speaking of which, speaking of watching, I've been behind on watching something that well, both Teeth of the Lamb and Mike has been putting out.
I think that's enough. So apparently he thinks that me, Dazza the cameraman, and my dear friend Geo are the same person. What the fuck? I mean,
I don't think so.
Yeah, no, I really can't do this accent for more time because my tongue is falling out. So like,
it looks a bit dangerous.
So how the hell is he able to actually mix us two up?
Well, I can only assume that he clearly has not watched any of the videos that I uploaded, including the videos that he actually requested that I make for him, which would include the moonrise simulation I did in Starry Night for February 16th, 2019. He actually asked me for that one. I've come to the conclusion that he's finally going to watch those videos when he gets that box open.
I know that he at least watched one of my Hangouts, at least the the first few minutes of it because he was complaining that we were making fun of him.
Yeah. Was that the 2-hour hangout, I believe he's talking about?
I think you need to be a little bit more specific about that.
Mm.
Like, all my hangouts are at least 90 minutes to at least 2 hours long. The record is like 7 point something. Okay, so since we've gone over all the stupid already, I guess let's just start and invite some people. You wanted to invite Astronomy Live?
Yeah, that would be great.
Okay, so you already got the invite link. Just send it to him.
Okay.
I'm gonna invite some of my friends as well. That one. That's the wrong one. This one.
Astronomy Live, I'll send you the Hangout link via PM. I'll just mute myself for a minute.
Hey, Micro.
Hello?
Hey, we can hear you fine.
Okay. It's just that, well, how am I supposed to know that when no one responds?
I literally said, hi, Micro.
Oh, that's odd. I didn't hear anything.
Hey, Sean.
I will point out that since if VORTEX thinks Dazza and you are the same person, and a lot of people confuse you and me, that means by extension I am also Dazza.
That's great.
Everybody wants to be Dazza.
There can be only one.
Well, I just invited an Australian person, so
We already
maybe
have
could
one
be-
in here.
Yeah.
No.
Oh,
Bad
no.
form, Peter. Bad form.
So yeah, you guys might have seen that I changed the logo of my channel. And also, if you take a look at my Twitter account, there's a surprise for you as well.
Yep.
Obviously, the intended goal is because this game is just so hilarious that all you can do about it is just make fun of it. And by the way, there's an awesome performance.
Thank you.
The knife was too small, though.
Yes, it was. Biggest one I could
You
find.
hear that a lot? Okay, did you break a pair of headphones just for this gag?
That's an old pair of earmuffs. I just
thank God.
Yeah.
I was a bit worried that you actually broke something just for that gag.
Hey, I would have.
I would have screamed at you. That is not worth it.
Now I have to ask the chat a question because I've noticed this over the last couple of Thrive and Survive videos. Does he or does he not look and sound like a discount Trump?
Not
Just think of him with a little bit more orange of skin and yellow hair. That's all you got to do.
Not really. I can see what you're getting at, but I don't really not really. I don't really see it.
Yeah, he just needs some more spray tan. That's all it is.
Okay, I'm Dazza. I'm here now.
Okay, so what's your take on this? Let's just give him the benefit of the doubt and say that he hasn't seen our videos, but we know that he has, at least a little bit of it. So how is it possible for him to mix up a New Zealandish guy, Kiwi, with somebody who has probably the thickest German accent ever? And obviously I could also amplify this a little bit.
Well, it just shows the intellect of these flurfers, that they don't know how to perceive anything.
Well, here's the thing about Thrive and Survive. He will deny ever seeing videos, but he'll make comments about the videos that he's never seen.
He's psychic.
He's actually done that. He actually announced me by name as a reply to me showing the Chicago skyline from Warren Dunes with red. And I did a follow-up of that. And all of a sudden he forgot my name, but he talked about the content that I showed in the follow-up video. So Yeah, he sees our videos. He just doesn't acknowledge them because then he has to actually fess up to being an idiot.
I don't know how many times you and Sean Hawkins, is it Sean Hawkins, you get mixed up?
Well,
People
at least
mixed
you have
to
the
it. That's just
same
by
name.
name, though.
Like there, I can at least like follow like some kind of logic where like okay, they have the same name. The same way I can kind of follow when me and Geo get mixed up because our accents are vaguely similar. But
What?
is this?
Are they so? At this point, I think we need to ask the people who are native in English or at least in any other different language. Do we really sound alike?
We
No.
do.
No, different tone, different pitch. Not the accent's similar-ish, but you've got different tones in your voice.
Okay, Geo, we have been confused multiple times.
That is true. Yeah.
That's because people are listening through the hole in their butt.
I thought they always talking
Everything
out their
sounds
ass.
muffled. Everything sounds muffled when your head's up your ass.
So that's how you talk out of it. You put your mouth inside it and then talk out of it. That makes sense.
What's the saying? You put garbage in, you get garbage out.
Yeah.
Well,
Okay, so Dazza, you had something prepared regarding Mr. TNS's latest claim regarding the equatorial mount footage.
Yeah, so I'll just share my screen if you want to present me to everyone.
Sure, wait, give me a second.
And you can drop the Kiwi accent now.
What? By the way, was that accent okay?
Passable.
Okay.
I'm sorry, but Dazza nailed you in his little promo video.
yeah.
That was hilarious.
Right. Now, just to set the scene, this is sort of where it really started for me. This is Mr. Thrive and Survive's video, which he uploaded on February 18th, 2019. Here is the moon evidence that doesn't exist. I think he was quite right on the title there. He really nailed. Yeah. Here is the moon evidence that doesn't exist. Okay. Now, I did actually get involved before this because his friend Steve Matthews, Teeth of the Lamb, had posted a video asking for photos or video of the moonrise for the 19th of February. And I had initially responded to that and sort of followed the link back to Mr. Thrive and Survive. So I had commented on Mr. Thrive and Survive's videos and offered to help with some images and particularly with some simulations of what we would expect to see using Starry Night. And he thanked me very much, and he even asked me if I could do one for February the 16th, which was what this video was all about, which I did. And despite uploading a series of videos, including this one, Response to Mr. Thrive and Survive Moon Rotation, which I actually published on February 13th, so that goes back even earlier. I did send him a link to a much earlier upload. Well, I actually re-uploaded that on February 13th, 2019. This one goes back to 2013, if I remember correctly. This one here, full moon field rotation prediction for February 19th, to actually just set out what we would expect to see. Field rotation of Orion for Mr. Thrive and Survive, uploaded on February 14th, 2019. And moonrise simulation February 16th, 2019 for Mr. Thrive and Survive. This is the one he specifically requested that I do, which he has never watched apparently. And full moonrise equatorial mount for Mr. Thrive and Survive. Another simulation of the predicted full moon rise on February 19th as seen from Phoenix, Arizona, this time using equatorial mount orientation. Now, it would seem to me that Mr. Thrive and Survive has not watched any of these videos, otherwise he would not have mistaken me for GeoStreber.
Well, what, I actually can tell you how that little confusion started. Somebody replied to one of your comments on Thrive and Survive's videos where he was talking about you were going to have him in a debate that was supposed to be one-on-one, but you ended up having like a whole bunch of people there. He was actually referring to Geo's Hangout that Geo invited him to, that Rich didn't show up for. So then he invited a bunch of people.
Right.
So that's where
Even
that whole
so,
confusion came from.
Okay, I understand that. But even so, if he'd actually listened to my videos, I'm sure from the accent alone, he should understand that I'm not GeoStreber.
I mean, just the fact that you don't pronounce the name correctly should be a tip off.
Wait,
Well,
he isn't?
It was either in the
Really?
the video. It was either in the video that Geo was showing or the one before that for Thrive and Survive, where he actually sort of acknowledges that he's seen your videos because he started bringing up the whole. There's been videos about field rotation and all that, and you were the only one making them. So he has seen them. He just can't admit to that because then he loses his narrative.
Mm-hmm.
Well, Sean, I know for a fact that he has seen a part of my videos as well, because he was mentioning me in one of his newer videos. Remember that one?
Yep.
And also, he was complaining about that the first 20 minutes or so of one of my Hangouts was just us making fun of him.
And if I could give everybody a reminder that flat earthers love to say they don't watch videos, but if you look at the progress bars, they're full.
That's not the progress bars, that's the colons.
No, I'm talking about the progress bar at the bottom of the video or in the thumbnail if it goes up in your little recommended feed. Yeah. Flat earthers are known for saying they've never seen a video when they absolutely have.
Yeah, the first case I think where we saw that one was Riley, wasn't he?
Yes, it was. I made a whole video on it.
Okay, I'll just play a bit of this video if that's okay, Geo.
Sure,
I've got the sound
I
muted.
just can't share any audio of yours, obviously.
Right. The audio will come through my microphone if I do play any, but I don't need to in this case. So I'll just play the section from "Here is the Moon Evidence It Doesn't Exist" by Mr. Thrive and Survive. And so this was these were from images from a P900 equatorially mounted camera. So there should be no field rotation.
If it's properly set up.
If it's properly set up, which is what, of course, we have disputed. Astronomy Live and I have done a video on that, at least one. So I'll play this and let's watch the moon bouncing around like a ping pong ball, which does not happen if your equatorial mount is properly aligned and set up for the correct latitude and polar aligned and so forth. It gets worse progressively, and I suspect that the batteries and the tracking mount may have gone flat. Towards the end here, we'll see the moon drifting consistently to the top left quite quickly. Yeah, sure. I mean, sometimes little corrections have to be made, but this is actually really, really bad. So, you know, it's as I say, here is the moon evidence that doesn't exist. This is just a shocking attempt at what he's trying to do. So about here, we start seeing the moon drifting to the top left quite consistently. And yeah, there's all sorts of major corrections. Here we go. It's quite bad from here on. So something's very wrong there. So I'll pause that. Guys?
Yes.
Yep. So any comments on that?
Yeah, well, obviously, as you pointed out correctly, he didn't align it the way he should have done. Because that's the entire point of an equatorial mount, that you can just follow any star, or in this case, the moon, without having to correct the orientation of the telescope, apart from the automatic motor.
Now, Dazza, I believe on the 19th, I actually gave you a call and gave you my educated guess on how I figured out that he aligned his telescope during the day to be EQ mounted. Did I not?
Yes, you did.
And what was my educated guess?
Oh, you put me on the spot now, Sean. My memory's like a goldfish sometimes.
I believe it had something to do with using a compass to find north, and then
yes.
angling up.
We talked about the magnetic declination. So, for example, here in New Zealand, the difference between magnetic north and true north is a difference of 21 degrees. And I think you checked what it would be from Phoenix, Arizona.
Yeah, it's plus 10.
Plus 10. Okay, so that would make a significant difference. Now, I have seen where he claimed that he used an app, some sort of app, to
I sent you that screenshot of the comment.
Yeah.
To quote him, Mr. Thrive and Survive, this was on, I'm not sure which video, I just got the screenshot of it. It was Sunday that I sent that. So that would be the 26th or 24th, I mean. Yep, 24th, he left a comment that said, we had an app which gave us true north. So he literally had an app on his phone, followed the line to true north, and best aligned his camera as he could. That's not a quote from him. That's just me pointing out that fact. Then it was just a matter of raising the altitude to our exact latitude. Now, what exactly did he use? Protractor? Because that would get him within maybe a half a degree of where he should have been. But latitudes, when you're going for that precision to try to do an EQ mount, you have to be on the nose. Astronomy Live went over this many, many times about how to set up an EQ mount, but he does it in a very, very lengthy process, but it gets it right on the nose. If you just go within a half a degree of true north, or I'm sorry, the elevation, you're still going to have serious drift because you're not properly polar aligned. So even if you had it perfectly true north as far as your azimuth goes, you're still not going to get any kind of precision down to the degree you need to get a proper polar alignment with your elevation. It's never going to happen. I don't think it's...
Aside from the polar alignment too, I mean, anybody that's actually tried using a smartphone with a compass built into it will know that the compass is not really very reliable. So trying to find true north or magnetic north on the compass is really not very reliable.
No. Because my phone, the one I have right now, is about 2 degrees off of magnetic north because the sensor is not seated quite properly. It's actually angled a bit. So even if I use it to find true north based on my declination, it's still going to be 2 degrees off from true north. And then if you have any kind of metal anywhere near the phone, like a tripod leg, it's going to throw it off.
Of course, yes. Yeah, the same problem applies too when people are using apps such as Dioptra. Is that what it's called? What's that's the theodolite app?
That's the cheap or the free theodolite app that actually does a pretty good job. But there's better ones out there.
Yeah, but the problem is that the sensors on the phone actually have to be calibrated. There was one out there called Dioptra Thrace, which is no longer available anymore. I contacted the developer of that app, and he actually built in calibration, which worked really well. But unfortunately, he and the app seems to have disappeared.
Yeah. On my old phone, I haven't actually checked the accuracy of this phone for Dioptra, but my old phone, the tilting forward and back axis was off by minus 1.2 degrees compared to vertical.
Yeah.
So yeah, smartphones are great for ballparking.
Yeah, but not for accuracy.
You said the B word.
Unless you take the time to figure out how far off it is and do the compensation yourself.
Right. Okay. Are we ready to move on to the second video, or any other comments on the first?
No, go ahead.
Okay. So he followed up with this video, great moon rotation evidence with good equatorial mount.
You have to scream it. It's in all caps.
Yeah. This was published on February 23rd, 2019. Remember that. I don't know if that's New Zealand time, but anyway.
So what's the real time?
The thing that strikes me about this particular video is that look at the images that he's presented here. They're like all different sizes. He seems to have done a very rough and ready copy and paste using Photoshop. But where are the raw images? we've got these date stamps, or rather time stamps, on each image, which he has clearly manually edited in using a text to put them in. But where are the raw images with the metadata, the EXIF data, showing the actual date and time that the images were shown, and the rest of the data about the photos, what sort of camera they were taken on, and so forth?
Well, the reason why
that's not needed.
The reason why he cropped all those pictures is simply to not show the drift anymore.
Yeah.
That way the moon would be centered in every single picture.
So he steps through, and I've put together a little video, which I haven't got queued, but I can pull that one up, where I used one of my original prediction videos for the 16th. So it wasn't a prediction video, it was the one I did after the fact at his request. And I overlaid these photos, these still images from the B700, the one on the right here, which was on the standard mount, to compare the results that he got. Now, for the first two images, which were at 5:34 p.m. and 6:27, they matched pretty much perfectly. And then all of a sudden, this one at 9:31 p.m. Was completely different. It rocked back anti-clockwise, which I had predicted some anti-clockwise rotation because of the fact that the moon was crossing over more than 180 degrees of the sky, but it was way off. And then at 22:21 or 10:21, this one is way off again. But again, I have to point out that how do we know that these times on these images are actually correct? He has manually pasted these in using Photoshop. He has not presented the raw images with the metadata.
Can you zoom in on that meridian crossing for the B700? Oh, you're looking at a video. I'm sorry. I thought you were looking at a screenshot.
Yeah. Yeah. So that's about there. So I'm not sure. I'm trying to remember what time the meridian crossing was. I can check using Starry Night. So there's that one there.
That's the one I'm looking for, the one you got highlighted.
Okay.
So go to that timestamp you were just at.
That's that one there, you mean?
You just moved your mouse completely off the... No, I'm looking for the B700 just before the meridian crossing. So go to that one, and we'll take a look at it real quick.
That one?
So this is just after the meridian crossing. Where's Tuco Crater?
Sorry, which one?
Tuco.
Tycho.
Tycho?
Tuco.
Tycho, Tuco.
That's one way.
I mean, the correct pronunciation would be Tuco.
Okay. So there it is there, on that image there.
Yep.
And so I guess it's washed out.
No, I think a little bit further left. Down or left a little bit.
There somewhere.
Well, I'm looking for the orientation because I'm wondering if he's actually got his camera level with the horizon for the Alt-Az mount. Which is why I wanted you to zoom in on that picture just after the meridian crossing on the B700.
Well, I've cropped the images from the video, so we can do it that way.
Okay, so the next picture for the Alt-Az, that one. Can you lower the gain on that picture at all?
I think looks like you already have an adjusted version of it. I don't think you're gonna see a whole lot.
Well, I'm just trying to get it to where we can actually see where the crater is supposed to be at, because at meridian crossing it should be at the very bottom if it's on an Alt-Az mount.
Adjustments levels. Yes.
Oh, there we go.
Yeah, that's good enough. You can see Tuco Crater now.
Yeah.
Put your mouse over it so I can see it. Where is it?
So we're down here.
Yep.
Okay.
So he's definitely not level with the horizon. He's actually got his camera tilted to the left.
Okay.
If that's just after the meridian crossing.
Uh-oh, we got royalty in.
What's up, brother? Okay.
Hello.
Well, it was certainly way off compared to what the Starry Night prediction would be, and you know, if he wants to do a proper job on this, he needs to present the original images, whether that be a continuous video or all of the still images, so that they can be scrutinized with metadata.
So do you guys think he's gonna double down on the bullshit once again?
Oh yeah, that's a given.
I'm not a betting man, but I would bet.
Would you bet that you would bet?
I would bet on you betting on betting.
Oh god. What's this sudden inception shit?
It's a
It's
song,
not
dude.
inception. It's called recursion. We need to stop using inception to mean something it doesn't. It's annoying. Yes, I will die on this hill.
Okay, so what I might do is I'll pull up that other video, which I have not published so far, and we'll take a look at that.
I love sneak peeks.
Okay, hopefully you can pick up my audio on this as I go through. So this was the video that I had uploaded showing the alt azimuth version of what should be seen on February 16th. You can see the date there. So I reused that video and then I overlaid the images taken from MrThriveAndSurvive's analysis video. So I'll play that and hopefully that'll come through my microphone. 1 minute increments. I'm going to run this forward and remember that the moon crosses the meridian at 10:23 p.m. So running it forward now, and we can see it's sort of rocking back, sort of anti-clockwise there. And then, so this is the first image. This is from the B700 camera, which is on an alt azimuth mount, 5:34. You can see that that matches the time up in the top left.
Yep, that's a perfect fit.
Yep, then we carry on, look at the next one. Start tilting clockwise direction. So here's the next one at 6:27, again up in the top left. That matches that time. Perfect fit again. Okay, on to the next one. Now it looks like there's not a lot of movement happening until it gets higher in the sky and approaching the meridian, which again crosses at 10:23. It is now. So here is the image that he presented for 9:31.
Yeah,
and we
no,
can see
that's way off. 20 degrees at least, probably more.
Yeah, and it's actually rotated in the wrong direction. It's rotated anti-clockwise. But then the strange thing, the next image is actually rotated clockwise. 9:30 p.m. coming up 10 p.m. now. So it's still off, but it's rotated clockwise compared to the previous, that is.
Wow.
Okay.
He really doesn't know what the fuck he's doing.
But it's still rotated counterclockwise to what we're actually supposed to be seeing.
And we've crossed the meridian and we're tilting in the other direction. So we can see that the first two images are pretty consistent with what we see in Starry Night, but the last two images are completely different. The third image rocks back considerably compared to the first two images. Let's have a look at the raw images here and compare them from 1 to 4. So here is the first image and the second image. So flicking between the first and second, we see that there's really not a lot of change. But then when we get to the third image, we see it rocks back. Second, third, second, third, second, third. And then when we get to the fourth image, it's flipped back the other way. Third image, fourth, third, fourth, third, fourth, third, fourth.
the other question that I have is, yeah, we see some timestamps that have been added to these photos. Where is the EXIF data for the photos, the metadata, showing the date and time that the photos were taken? In fact, how do we know that the clock was even set correctly?
He hasn't got any. He hasn't. Did you figure out that he might have had some mixed up in the times?
Yeah, that's. I'm guessing that's what's happened. Either that, or he's deliberately changed the times to make them look as they shouldn't. But this image here, just finishing this video, this is the image from 2221 and Starry Night from 2149. So I was able to that was the best match that I could find, was the Starry Night time, or the real time, 2149, for his image at 2221. So you can see that that's a match there.
Yeah, that's dead on.
I think it's a simple fact that he kept tilting the camera counterclockwise. He wasn't level with the horizon.
Yeah, another thing that should be pointed out too is that depending on how the camera is mounted, the camera itself can be rotated on the scope as well. Certainly if you're using a DSLR camera, I think, well, he said it was a B700. So I'm assuming that he was using a tube. No, he wasn't using it through a telescope, was he? It was just a lens.
It was just a camera mounted on the telescope, or on the tripod.
Yeah. If you're using say a DSLR camera through a telescope at prime focus, where you've actually removed the lens off the front of the camera and you're using a tube which goes into the end of the telescope, if the camera is rotated at all on the telescope, it will give you false rotation. Okay, any questions on that video?
Not really, no.
Okay.
Other than, can you really believe that this guy is so inept in anything he's doing?
Well, he can't even
actually no, because he's been known throughout his entire YouTube history to strawman things and be intentionally deceptive to try to make a point.
I have to say, you know, I like to give people the benefit of the doubt, and I'm never in a hurry to call people liars from the start, to call them deceivers and all the rest of it. I like to give them the benefit that maybe they've made honest mistakes.
Well, but I actually gave Thrive and Survive that benefit of the doubt for the first year that I was talking with him on his channel.
Yeah.
I didn't give him the deceptive tag until he started to actually try to model things out, and he came up with a reason why the Coriolis force doesn't work by stopping the rotation of the globe.
Right. Yep. So that has been your experience over time, and that has become my experience, and more that I deal with him as well. You know, he sent me, he actually asked me to contact him via his People for People website, which I did. Prior to that, I tried to contact him via his email address listed on the About tab of his YouTube channel, but it seems that email address is no longer in use. It just wouldn't come up in my email system. So when he finally invited me to contact him via his People for People website in a live chat, I think that was, or via a comment, I did that. And then about 20 hours later, I was in one of his live Hangouts, and he again invited me to contact him via People for People. And I said, well, actually, I have already 20 hours ago, and I haven't had a reply. So I sent him another message via his website. And after a few days, I was starting to get rather impatient and frustrated with him, and that was starting to show in my comments and videos. And then he sent me an email, which I thought was very sincere, where he detailed his health problems. And like me, he suffers debilitating migraines, which, you know, I can understand and empathize with. And as I say, I thought his email was very sincere. He told me that he was going to watch the 7-minute video that I sent him. But it soon became clear, even by the next day when he was calling me GeoStreber in his live Hangout, that he hadn't watched any of those videos. So, you know, I've come to the conclusion finally that he is dishonest. He's a liar and basically can't be trusted.
He said something similar to me a while ago. I had an email conversation with him maybe 6 weeks ago, in which I invited him to join one of my Hangouts, and he said that he would like to take a look at older ones from me first. And I said, yeah, okay, that's fair if you want. And then nothing. Dead silence.
Well, at this point, I think the migraines are self-inflicted from oxygen deprivation from having his head up his ass for so long.
I don't know if you saw this, Sean, but I was on a Hangout about 1 hour ago on Imrik's channel.
Did not see it.
Talking to a guy from Flint, Michigan, who was like
someone pissed in his breakfast.
Yeah, and as soon as he said that he's from Flint, I pretty much immediately know how he made or why he made the arguments that he did make.
Now, Flint's the one that had the water crisis last year, right?
Yes.
I mean, what do you mean had? It's still ongoing as far as I know.
Well, I know that Walmart sent a whole crap ton. We're talking trailers full from my store alone of bottled water.
Yep, because the water was full of lead.
Yeah, I mean, I think it was a total of 6 trailerfuls of pallets of water that we sent up to Flint, Michigan, just from my store.
That's a lot of water.
It was a lot of water. I'll have to say kudos to Walmart for doing that from all over the country.
Did they just do it like for, oh fuck, we need to help, or?
Well, they did it for a twofold reason. One, because yes, it was the right thing to do since they had the money they can burn, because they gave that water away for free.
That's what I mean. Like,
2, they also did it for the publicity of look, we're helping.
Obviously, but like,
yeah, I mean,
I don't really give a fuck about that. I just want the like, if that's the reason they're helping, fine, they're helping.
They did it for both reasons. I can safely say that.
Yeah. Kudos to them.
By the way, this broken headset seriously makes me cringe. Like, I get why it's broken. It's a Logitech G930, just as mine. They have a weak spot at that position where his is broken, but just go to a 3D printing shop and print the replacement part. They're on Thingiverse.
Duct tape. That's all you need.
Duct tape.
It's such a common failure point for these things.
Well, considering how he's currently struggling with that box, I don't think tape is gonna help him.
Well, take a look at it. It's probably only like this is the
hanging by the wire.
He's not very confident with unidirectional linear adhesive.
I can't really see whether this is the wireless version or the wired one. Obviously, there's a wire in there, but that might only be for charging. Now, on the right side of these headsets, that's where you find the battery. So it's possible that this headset is hanging by 4 cables, 2 for the speaker and 2 for the battery, which is obviously kind of a risk, right? Because if you short it, the battery is going to heat up and possibly start burning.
Well, he said he suffers from migraines. I wonder if the pressure of the spring-loaded system on the headset's actually pressing on his brain.
No, this thing is seriously comfortable. It's one of the best headsets that you get.
It used to be.
Until it breaks.
Yeah, it used to be.
Yeah.
This must be terribly frustrating for Mr. Thrive and Survive, because you know that that's a new set of headphones in that box.
Yeah.
It kind of reminds me of like if you were to put the box in like a chimpanzee enclosure.
Wouldn't he use a sharp object, or isn't he allowed to have any sharp object?
I mean, no. I mean, a chimpanzee would just like smash it open.
Yeah, but he is totally confounded by the whole prospect of the unidirectional adhesive strip.
Yeah.
Well, look, if this guy can't open a box, how do you expect him to operate an equatorial mount?
He'll use an app for it.
He's waiting for the box opening app.
I have to wait till one of the kids get home from school or something, and they'll help him with it.
I mean, let's be honest. He's one of the people who tries to eat a soup with a fork.
Well, you can't eat
soup with a fork. It's just very inefficient.
It just takes longer.
You probably have to get
it kind of works, but the result is seriously underwhelming.
And if he
It's
does
called
it,
favoring the-
unless you really unless you prefer your
it's
bits
called
in the soup and the soup itself to be separate.
It's called savoring the flavor.
Yeah, look, we're having a lot of fun at Mr. Thrive and Survive's expense,
Yes.
and I think I should say that to any of his followers and supporters and so on, that I and others too, I know, certainly have tried very hard to reach out to him to try and help him. As I say, I uploaded several videos.
On how to open the box.
Yeah, and it seems that he hasn't watched any of those videos. Otherwise, he wouldn't have been calling me GeoStreber. And I've tried my best to help this guy. I've reached out to, I've offered to talk to him directly and privately to answer his questions and respond to any objections that he may have. And his response has been pretty much zero. Nothing but words, nothing but empty promises. He's told me that yes, he would get back to me. Yes, he would watch my videos and all the rest of it. And there's been nothing. So I'm sorry, Mr. Thrive and Survive. I've tried, and you've had your chances, and really, you deserve all the ridicule that you're getting right now.
Hello, Mr. Astronomy Live.
Hey guys, can you hear me?
By the way, if you haven't noticed, your webcam is running. If that's unintentional, you should maybe disable it.
Nah, it's fine.
Okay.
If you want to stop presenting me, I'll stop sharing
sure.
now, Geo.
We can enjoy Astronomy Live's amazing hair.
Hey, Geo, how long are you going to be doing this hangout for?
Yeah, I think I'll call it a night in approximately maybe 15 minutes. Because it's getting late over here as well, right? It's 11:30 p.m. Because
I just wanted to, I'm releasing a video, so I wanted to make sure I waited long enough to let you finish first.
Okay, sure. Thanks. So you heard the entire thing, right? That apparently Mr. Thrive and Survive thought, at least for a while, that Dazza and I are the same person.
Yes, I was catching that just now at the end.
Okay. What is your thought on this?
It makes sense. He's a fucking idiot.
Ding.
Where's my bell? Where's my bell? I moved it. Oh.
Someone's getting a lot of background noise there.
I think this is
probably that's me. Hang on, let me mute myself here. Sorry about that.
Yeah, it makes sense. He's been saying that he wants to debate real science. The dude doesn't understand real science. Doesn't understand. If he did, like, I have literal videos of him where so I think it was Dazza, right, that said that he's almost intentionally being dishonest, right? Well, I have a video of him where he's making this claim that he's like, this is so wonderful. This makes absolute sense. The sun should be making zigzags in the sky. And I'm like, how can you debate somebody in science when you don't even realize what you did so obviously incorrect? Or you did realize it and you just lied because you just are a liar. So I don't know if he's just that stupid. Like maybe he just suffers from like early onset dementia or something, but he's a legitimate idiot.
We are at the same question as usual. Dishonesty or plain stupidity?
Those two things don't rule out each other.
Yeah, I know it's not a dichotomy. I'm aware of that. Both of them can be true at the same time.
I was going to say, a lot of people can have both at the same time, but with Mr. Thrive and Survive, he's actually intelligent. He's one of those intelligent people who is intentionally being deceptive. And I say that based on his purposely misrepresenting models in order to present his narrative.
I refuse to believe that.
I mean, the very basics of debunking flat Earth requires nothing more than logical reasoning. The very basics, do.
I mean, have you met people on the internet? Logical reasoning isn't exactly their strong skill.
But if there's any honesty to what he's saying about his qualifications for this argument, then he has to have some sort. You have to make the assumption that he has enough logical reasoning to understand that what he's doing is intentionally deceptive. So I agree with Sean. I don't think he's that stupid. I think he's actually just that dishonest for whatever reason, if it just makes him feel important or whatever, but he is being that dishonest.
I think Astronomy Live might have something he wants to share there.
Yeah, I just wanted to share the screenshot of a comment that I made and he responded to a few days ago, talking about his field rotation videos and such. The main thing I just wanted to point out here was in his reply to me, where I flat out told him I have a comment monitoring bot watching his channel and catching any comments he deletes. And, you know, he says, why are you doing that? And that treating others with respect is more the reason why a comment will stay or no, I think he means go. In other words, he seems to be suggesting that he only deletes comments that are disrespectful. Well, lo and behold, look at the comment that my comment monitoring bot happened to catch. It's the same one.
Wait, stop.
He deleted that very comment. Now, my bot only shows the top line comments. It doesn't show the replies that got deleted in the process, but his own reply got deleted in the process there because he deleted the top comment. So, yeah, he wiped out the comment that I warned him he probably shouldn't do because it will be exposed. So, here's me exposing it. So,
by the
awesome.
way, can you do me a favor? Can you add my channel to the channels that are being monitored by the monitoring bot? For the simple reason that I had some flat earthers in the past claiming that I would disable their comments.
well, careful now, careful now.
Okay.
My bot has no way of detecting who deleted the comment, right? Theoretically, I could have deleted that comment myself. I'm telling you right now, and you'll just have to take my word for it. I didn't do that. He deleted it, not me. But someone could go on your channel and self-delete their own comments and claim that you did it.
Oh yeah,
And
right, that's true. I didn't think of that.
So there is that issue. But that aside, no, he's clearly deleted my comment. He's deleted comments from Dazza as well. If you go on my Discord channel, you can find the video on my channel saying something along the title, something along the lines of YouTube censorship exposed. If you go to the link in that description, it'll take you to my Discord server where you can see a channel dedicated to all the comments that have gone missing from MrThriveAndSurvive's channel. And there you will find multiple comments from me, multiple comments from Dazza. All of them are respectful. None of them are cursing at him or insulting him. And yet they're all gone, missing. So he's clearly lying there in his reply to me saying that he only deletes disrespectful comments. That's not true at all.
Okay, so one thing. How many people here in this chat are already banned by MrThriveAndSurvive? I know that I am. I cannot post anything on his channel anymore.
I'm pretty sure I am.
I don't think I am.
I was
think
banned
I am now after being banned in the live chat the other day.
I've been banned by MrThriveAndSurvive for 3 years now because when he asked people for ideas for experiments he could do on the equinox, I gave him one in a very respectful tone. He called me a troll and banned me.
I can definitely say I'm not banned from anybody.
Well, that's because you don't matter enough yet.
Yeah, he was muting me quite constantly in his last Hangout. And to be fair, I was hopping between channels, but I wasn't trying to hide who I was. Both my channels had my Astronomy Live username. And I was just bouncing back and forth between. And finally I gave up because, you know, obviously he doesn't want me there. He's just going to mute me every couple comments, so there's no point in trying to fight the tide on that one.
Well, as I said a few minutes ago, you know, but Thrive and Survive, the reason why I call him deceptive, and I've got it on screen now, something that he did, you know, I drew this by hand because I don't want to go digging through his videos, but this is a model he presented as to show why he's being intentionally deceptive.
Are you sharing, Sean?
Yeah,
yes,
I'm sharing.
What you're seeing on screen is a large circle, which he represented as the Earth. The arrow is where he put the observer, which would be the North Pole. And he says somebody at the North Pole should not be able to see the moon because the Earth is in the way. And that's how he drew his model.
Okay, so talking about scale, obviously there are two major fuck-ups. Who can name them?
Well,
the moon doesn't live on the surface of the Earth.
It's not rolling across it.
What's the second one?
The sizes.
Yes,
Yeah, the size.
The size of the moon.
Also, we don't have a big arrow at the North Pole.
Well,
how do you know? Have you been there?
He used the arrow as representing somebody standing at the North Pole, how they shouldn't be able to see the Earth or see the moon because.
So he can't draw a stick figure.
So people now look like arrows. Yeah, I've never seen one of those people either.
Lying. But he says the Earth is in the way. We shouldn't be able to see the moon.
I guess he's technically correct in that model.
But he presented this as the heliocentric model.
Wow.
I mean, that could still be heliocentric. We don't actually know where the sun is in this.
But this is one of the reasons why I say that he's intentionally deceptive. And his fans bought it hook, line, and sinker.
I mean, he could just be taking this on from a direct 90-degree angle. That little moon could literally be 384,000 miles away in the z-axis.
Oh yeah,
it wouldn't be that big. It'd be smaller.
Oh yeah.
No, you're forgetting perspective.
You want us to reduce the size of it twice, as Riley argumented.
And is the circle about 2 pixels wider in the middle than what it is top to bottom?
Yeah, but let's remember that this guy has criticized NASA for using images to, represent how eclipses work, which not to scale, of course. And he seems to have a problem with those images when obviously they're not to scale.
I mean, there are no scales in that picture, so
no.
There's something fishy about that picture.
Okay, I think I'm gonna call it a night. Let's do it.
What else would you call it? Brian?
Okay, let's do it the good old Red's rhetoric way, because I really gotta go and gotta sleep. Tomorrow I pretty much have to work the entire day. So let's start with our special guest, I'm in Dazza.
Thanks for having me.
Wait, we're gonna do this correctly. So I'm gonna share your screen in the meantime. There we go.
Yep. Thanks for having me. It's been a pleasure. And well, what can we say to Mr. Thrive and Survive? If you want to front up and have an honest discussion and work together, I'm all for it. But it's time to start being honest.
Thank you very much for joining.
I love the Flat Earth model headset you're wearing with only one ear attached. That's awesome.
Okay, Terry, you're the next one. You're stepping in the wrong way.
You got to hold it the right way. Thanks for letting me on again.
Sure thing. Team Skeptic, your turn.
Yes, thanks for having me on or inviting me. I kind of came in late, but I'm about to do a live premiere. So everybody who's out there, head over to my channel after Geo goes offline, and let's rock this premiere, guys.
Okay, yeah, everybody, all the 118 people in here, head over to Team Skeptic's channel and check out his video. Sean, it's your turn.
Oh, I've got music to work on.
The one that you were talking about on Google Hangouts?
Yes, I've got a parody coming up in the next few days, and I think y'all will like it.
Okay, thank you very much for joining. Micro.
If you feed a chicken LSD, does it then lay Easter eggs?
No, but it still wants to cross the road.
Yeah, but that time it's because it's hallucinating something over there.
Okay, and last but not least, Astronomy Live.
Thanks for having me on. I think this is the first time I've been on your channel, isn't it, Gio?
I think so, yeah. At least I'm not aware of any cases this happened before.
Yeah. I mean, I think we've been on a lot of Red's Hangouts together, but I think this is the first time I've been on your channel. So anyway, thanks for having me on. Sorry I was running late here. It's grant deadline season for me, and you probably know what that's like. So I got to run too.
Okay, thanks for joining. And to all the still 110 people watching, thank you very much for joining this rather short yet funny hangout, at least. I hope it was funny for you guys. See you next time. Bye, guys.